So is Tua yet able to make all the throws to play on Thursday?
He threw yesterday. Looked good. He's making some progress. Still somewhat limited. Um, so we're just going to take it, day to day and see how he looks today, tomorrow, and really probably take it right up to, day of the game.
Do you know yet whether you would? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You mentioned that he looked good. Did you see any progress from when you, I guess, worked him out last week or worked him out?
Yes, he's definitely making progress. Look, he's got a fracture in the finger, and there's definitely discomfort. It's getting better. Swelling's down. It's getting better, and progress from last week. But there's still some limitations for sure.
How do you, I guess, weigh? You mentioned obviously choosing Jacoby because he gave you the best chance to win. How do you weigh how much a percentage of Tua is versus a fully healthy Jacoby when you make that call? Because it seems like he won't be 100% regardless.
Right.
By Thursday.
Right. I mean, I think it's there's a lot of things that go into that kind of decision. Obviously, the health of the player, number one, and whether or not Tua in this instance can, no different than last week, do all the things we need him to do to have success in the game. Again, then there's a short week, and knowing there's discomfort. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. But we'll always do what's best, what we feel is best for the team.
If he plays, would he wear anything on the finger? Is there anything you could put on it to help him?
Help the fracture? I mean, I don't, Yeah, I mean, I guess, again, as far as, splints and tape and things like that, that's not really in, my wheelhouse. I know our training staff, our medical staff, they will do and have done, everything that, get them to help him, to get him back as quickly as possible. And Tua's doing everything to get back as quickly as possible also. And there's still time here. We're still, we're 48 hours from the game. So there's still time. I would say, look, if the game was tonight, it beat Jacoby. So that's kind of where we're at.
Flo, is the right way to look at it that you make the final decision after consultation with the trainers and Tua? Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, it's a medical decision. It's a medical decision. It's a team decision. Obviously, I have a lot of say in that. Always try to keep the team first. The health of the player, obviously, is at the forefront, and but also, want to put the team in the best position.
Speaking of finger injuries, with Will Fuller, are you concerned that his finger injury has taken him so long to recover from? And I understand he needs his fingers to catch a football, but I mean, you should shed some detail on why it has taken him since week 4 to return from this one.
I mean, it was a significant injury. He's made a lot of progress. We actually got some, favorable news in the last couple of days. So hopeful that we can get him back out there quickly. But look, he's been working. It was a pretty significant injury. That's why it's taken so long. He's not. He's doing everything he can. So, but yeah, I mean that's trending in the right direction.
Right. Given the fact that you said Tua's stats likely will be a game time decision, I mean, would you expect to elevate Jake from the practice squad, or if Tua can't start, will he just serve in that emergency role again?
I would say if he can't start, he'd be in the same role he was in last week.
I guess what are the top mental challenges for trying to get ready for a game in 3 days? I mean, obviously the schedule differs greatly, of course, but Guys talking about a 24-hour rule. Christian famously says it every week. And then he said that doesn't even apply this week because you got to turn it around so quickly. What goes in? What do you tell guys about how to handle the daunting part of getting ready for a game in 72 hours?
I think, I can, speaking from myself personally, I think you turn the page on the last game. There's already been some, let's call it preparation on Baltimore. Understanding that it would be a quick turnaround. And then for the players, we just got to speed up your weekly routine. You got to, as far as, their roster, who their players are, who their coaches are, what they do on early down, what they do on third down, what they do in the red zone. I mean, you just got to speed up that entire process. We as coaches, we want to give them all the information, give them, the install. Obviously, it can't be as expansive as it is when you have more time. And, in a lot of instances, you have to rely on a lot of the things you've already put in. Core plays offensively, core defenses, core things in the kicking game. But more than anything, it's, try to get them mentally prepared and, physically prepared because it just got done playing a game. So, those are kind of the points that I try to hit on. They got to get themselves physically prepared, to go in 4 days, 2 days now. And then as far as getting mentally prepared and the preparation, against a team like this, they do a lot, in all three phases, and they do a good job in all three phases. So just having a good understanding of how they want to play, their style, and how we're going to need to play to combat that.
At the risk of answering my own question, I know it's a different year, different team, different circumstances, but obviously the last time you saw these guys, it was not a pleasant experience for you in any way. Does that, for the guys who went through that, should that matter at all this week? You should never need more reason to want to win a game, or to play well, but for the people who went through week 1 against Baltimore, should that be a motivating factor at all?
No, it's really not something that, you look back, you go and watch that film and, see some of the things that they were doing then. Some are similar to what they're doing now, and some things aren't. But you try to learn from that experience. I think, we didn't play well that day. The goal is always to be better and improve and try to get better and play better Thursday night. But there's always motivation, in this league.
Brian, I'm sorry, on a short week, have you and Lem decided whether to stick with this quintet of offensive linemen, give them another shot Thursday to get their act together, or might we see changes this Thursday?
Definitely a lot of conversation there. We had a walkthrough yesterday. We'll have a walkthrough today. Tomorrow we'll have a little bit more pace. We've had some conversations about moving some guys around. No final decisions yet, but definitely conversations being had.
I just wanted to ask.
Fractures can be kind of fluky in Tua's case, but at what point do you have to factor availability into your determination of a player?
I think that's pretty, it's obviously, availability is very important. There's a lot of factors that play into that. You mentioned them. Some of them are fluky. But that's not the only factor. It's, the person, the player, the talent. And I think Tua is competitive. He's smart. He wants to be out there. I think he's getting better. I think we all know that, in order to continue to get better, you got to be out there and get the experience. I think he'll get that. And I think this is another bump in the road for him, and he'll get through it, and he'll be fine.
When thinking about pressures allowed, particularly at the offensive tackle position, and it's been 3 or more players that have been tried, what if anything do you think is the common denominator or the reason or reasons why that have led to too many pressures?
I mean, there's so much that goes into that. Obviously, in some instances, and it's been the case for us, is just not playing well enough. Technique, communication, things of that nature. There's other instances where we could help the situation by getting rid of the ball, stepping up in the pocket. It's a team effort. It's a team situation, and we've got to do a better job. We've got to do a better job of not allowing as many pressures. Getting the ball out. There's running the football better so that we don't have to pass it as many times, and put ourselves in those situations where it's pass, and they know it, and they can get off. So there's a lot that goes into it, and I think there's some things we can do on early downs that would help those let's call it obvious passing situations.
Talked a little bit about, I guess, development, particularly with the offensive line. How do you balance wanting those young guys to play through some of their struggles versus needing better production, to have success now?
It's a fine line. I mean, it's a very fine line. I mean, look, young guys need reps to get better, but we also want to win and have success. So, those guys need to step up and play better. We need to do a better job of coaching them and putting them in better positions to have success. That starts with me. I'll be the first one to say that. And but what I'll say about these guys is it's important to them, and they're working hard to get it right.
Well, there's obviously only one Lamar Jackson. How difficult is it to simulate him in practice, and how does that kind of change your practice routine, or how impossible is it, I guess?
Yeah, probably impossible is probably a better term. Look, this guy's he's one of the best players in the league, and he's gotten a lot better, I would say, over the course of his career. And dynamic, explosive. A lot of words like that you can use to describe Lamar, and I have a lot of respect for this for his game, and the way he's grown. I mean, it's as a obviously we're competing against him on Thursday, but you always as a coach you watching guys develop and grow it's a good thing to see, and they've done a good job of getting him coached up, and he's done a nice job, and he's a very good player in this league.
Brian, piggybacking off Tim's question about the 2019 game, you
Yeah.
often talk about learning through adversity. What, if anything, did you take away from that game, or were you able to take away from the game?
God, I mean, it feels like a while ago. I mean, I came out of that feeling like we had a long way to go, and we got to try to get better, improve, and get better. And that was the goal that day. That's always the goal. And that's really it. I mean, we weren't good enough that day, and we had a long way to go, and we had to get better. That's really what I took from it.